Hey, what's up guys, this is Narendra and back with the video series again, which is our Vue-Apollo server express. So let's go and get started. So I deployed it on Heroku earlier, but the Heroku server was very slow and which was not fulfilling our motive behind creating this GraphQL application because it was very slow. So I have currently cloned it back and hosted it on my local development server that is on 4000 that we can see, and it is already running. But the database, in nutshell, it is working using the same database which we were using earlier. And currently I have created a couple of more posts, so you can check that out. These are a couple of more posts. And in this video, we are going to create a new post functionality. So let's go and get started how we can do that. So for example, first of all, I'm going to create a new file inside my dashboard that will be our add post component, add post.view file, and we'll give a basic view scaffolding. So for that view, and in that I'm going to give a row, then also give a call of 12. And in that column of 12, I'm going to create a new card basically. So we'll say card, and in that we have a card body, and then card title, actually h3 with a card title, and in that I'll give a class of text primary, and in that I'm gonna give a card on add post. So this is our add post page, this will be, and we have to in order to access using our links, we have to register inside dashboard.js router that we created in the second video, I guess. And now I'm going to create a new component inside that, register a component with a path called actually add post, and its name will be add post. And in the component, it will be using lazy loading that component using import statement, and in that will be coming from views / dashboard, and that will be add post.view file. So let's save it. And now in order to access this from users post, so whatever we have inside this card body, I'm gonna cut this out from here and gonna give a div with a dflex. So dflex, and inside that we'll be using flex. Actually by default it will be a row only, so we don't have to worry about that. Inside that I have pasted my heading, and then justify content, and that will be between. So one side will be our h3, other side will be our that. And now you can see add post is not found, so let me check that. Okay, so I have written app post, it will be add post actually. So now our application shouldn't break, and it's reloading. So now you can see nothing is there, and we'll fix this Apollo caching also in a while so that you are not able to see the loading state that we are having. And currently it's loading all the posts from the backend, and I have added behind the scenes couple of more posts. So let's see how we can create a new button. So here I'm gonna give a button with a btn, with a class of btn primary, and we'll call it add post. Let me save it, and now you can see add post is there. And now you can see this button is not medium size, small, normal size button. So I'm gonna give a class of align self center, and also to this main div I'm also gonna give a class of align items center, and we save it, and now you can see everything is properly fine. So now in order to link this with our add post component, we will make use of router. So on the click of this button, we'll go to this $router.push, and we'll go to dashboard / add post. I guess this was the This was the name which we registered here. Yes, add post. So since it is a children of dashboard component, so it will go to there. So now if I click on this, we can see we are going to this add post. Let me name it again, add post. So now in here, I'm gonna inside this body only. After this, I'm gonna give a HR tag just for the styling purpose. So now you can see we have HR line at the bottom, and now here I'm gonna give a row, and within that row I'm gonna give a class of MD, let's say 6, and we'll make it 2 times. And inside this I'm gonna give a div with a form group, and then we have an input and actually label also. So label for will be for title, and I will also give this class of text primary and font weight bold so that it meets our styling standards. And now you can see this is a title. Then we'll give a class to this input also, form control, and now you can see we have our title, nice title at the bottom. We'll put a placeholder also, so we'll simply say placeholder, we'll call it title, and later we'll bind these with the models. So that's it. Let me format this thing a bit so that it looks nice. So that's it. Now I'm gonna quickly copy this part again, and I'm gonna paste it at the bottom, and this will be for content, and that will content. Let me save that, and now you can see we have the content also. So now for the content we can use with the normal inputs also, but I don't want to use normal input. We want to use some kind of like which can create our blog post application like WGSGI editor or something like that. And fortunately Vue has provided that package in the name of Vue-2 editor, and under the hood it uses Quill editor, Quill.js editor, so we can make the use of this editor. And use is very simple. You can follow along with the documentation, and you can install this package. So I'm gonna quickly get in the integrated terminal, and I'm gonna paste that package, and this might take a moment to download it and install inside the node modules so that we can make a use of it. And you can also look at the repository, GitHub repository, with the documentation, how it works and what are the different options that we can use inside that. So we just have to import it very simply, and then inside that we have these things. In order to do all sort of stuff, we can import and use it like this. We have to register after bringing inside the components where we are using, and then we can directly bind it with the model. So you can see that we model, and that can be binded with that very easily, and that's how it works. And now one more thing is like we can do all sorts of stuff, but I'm not gonna get into very details of it. For that you can read the documentation, and which provides most of the resources for our application. So let's see how we can use this. So I'm gonna quickly, after installation, once it is installed, I'm gonna bring it from Vue to editor, and I'm gonna paste it at the bottom. Then in the components we have to register that Vue editor, and just below this content I'm gonna make the use of this editor, so we can use that. Actually we can use that for now like this. Let me copy and paste it, and you can also use the self-closing tags also, so you don't have to worry for like writing ending tags also for that. And currently we don't have any kind of data inside of this component, so let me add that too real quick, and that will be our new post, and which will be having title, and by default it will be empty string. Then we have a content that will be also empty string, and featured image that will be also an empty string for now. I'm also gonna add a couple of more queries. So image query, actually that will be image mutation, and for now that's empty string. Later we'll add that, and I'm using inside this backticks now. Then we have a new post mutation, that will be also inside the backticks. We later will add them according to our application needs, but that's fine for now. And now we'll bind this model to our this new post.content. So new post.content, and in the similar fashion I'm gonna bind another one, v-model, and that will be new post.title. So these data properties are now bounded to these values. So that's why, that's the beauty of Vue.js. It gives you MVVM patrons, so that is, and you can use it Vue editor like this. So now if I go to our application shouldn't break at all, and now you'll find this nice editor at the bottom. And on the left hand side I'm gonna quickly add another field. So let me go ahead and do that. So this will be our another field, and inside that I'm gonna use form group, and in this form group I'm gonna give it a input type of a file, so where we'll upload our image, and also give it a class of form control. And also this is form control. Then now we will, let's see and save it and see. So this is our form control, and at the bottom we'll have our image. So for now I'm gonna use a dummy image tag so that we can also have a look at it. So I'm gonna give it a form group, and inside that form group I'm gonna give img, and let me quickly grab one image as soon as possible. So from google.com I'll grab one image real quick, placeholder image, and let me copy this one. This looks nice and clean, I guess. So let me copy that, copy image address, paste it, and actually this will be, so let's save it and see how it looks. So this is like this, and also gonna give it class of img thumbnail img fluid. So let me save that, and now this looks nice. So this will be our placeholder image for now, and later we'll replace these images with the image that we'll upload on the top. And one more field I'm gonna give real quickly at the top only, so that will be dot form group, and inside that input, and instead of this text, this will be our hidden. So these are various patterns that people don't often use, and we'll bind this model to our new post dot featured image. So now you cannot see that at the bottom, but it's there, and we have bounded it with new post dot featured image. So whatever the image that we'll upload here, that will after uploading it, we'll change this image, whatever the image we can see at the bottom, and that it will be automatically, we'll mutate this one, this new post featured image property with the image URL that we'll be getting from our Apollo backend. So that's how we are gonna work. And meanwhile, I'm also gonna give it a form group, div with a class form group, and inside that button tag btn primary, and inside that I'm gonna add post. So let's save it and see how it looks. So this looks like this. So let's see how we can do. And one more thing to this input that we have for the file input. So we'll give it a ref. So $ref, actually not $ref, it will be simple ref image uploader, and let's save it. So now on change, we'll attach an on change. So firstly we are gonna handle this image part. on change, I want to call a method. So as the image is changed or anything else changes, it will call a function. So let's see how we can do that. So on the change of this property, I want to call a function. Let's say upload image is the name of function, and now that function I will create at the bottom, and then we'll upload this image using our Apollo query. So inside this methods option that we have, and since uploading image might take some time, so we are gonna make it asynchronous task. And let's see what happens. So I'm gonna give a console, and in order to access that ref, we have to simply say this $refs, and in that $ref, what was the name was given? That was the image uploader ref. So I can put that thing here. We'll simply say files and 0. So let me open the console and let's quickly see what do we get. And I think I'm finding some errors. So content is not defined but referred during the instance. So new post.content, new post is defined. Yes, it is. So let me reload that. I think that's something else from the previous logs. And you can see our application is not breaking with any error. So now if I choose one image, so let me choose this image that we have used, and now you can see that file is there. And now I'll push that file to the server using our Apollo client here. So we'll simply say let data equal to await this $Apollo dot mutate, just like that, how we did in our authentication application. And this will take options, so we'll call it mutation. And in that mutation, we need to use this image mutation. And for that thing, we can always go to our app inside the playground. So this was the mutation. Let me quickly copy that and paste it inside here. But we cannot pass these strings directly. We need to bring in Apollo GraphQuery tag. So we'll bring that now. So let me bring in that GQL from GraphQL tag. And now we use that mutation here inside this GraphQL tag. So we'll pass that mutation, this dot image mutation, and this should do the job for us. And now we have a variables property, and in that variable property, whatever I'm getting here inside this ref, will pass that file as a variable to this. So this is how it's working. And once we are done with that, we'll simply change the value of this featured image from whatever we are getting from the backend. So let's see how we can do that. So let's first console log whatever we get from the data, and then we'll change it accordingly. And once we are done, we want to clean up this ref that we have. So this dot ref dot equal to null. This will become empty again, and there will be nothing inside. So let's see how our code is working fine or not. So let me choose one file. We'll click here, and now we are getting some errors. So mutation option is required, must specify your GraphQL mutation. Okay, I made a spelling mistake. That was a typo. And now let me reload this application so that our application is working fine, just to ensure that. Let me choose one file, click on that, and now you can see that it's still not doing that part, right? And that's because it was taking a file as a variable, and we just directly passed that thing, so it wasn't taking it. So we'll use that file and paste it this way. Now it should work fine. So this will be working this way. And now let's see. Click on that. We click that image, and now you can see we are getting our URL that we wanted back. So inside that data property, we are getting this image uploader, and we'll bind that image uploader to that part. So let me quickly do that. So this dot new post dot featured image equal to data dot this part, and now inside at the top here I'm gonna use a if conditional. So if new post dot featured image, then we'll bind that featured image with this thing. So new post dot featured image. So our whole this div part will be only rendered if we have something inside this featured image. So let's save it and reload this whole application. So for that, I'm reloading it. Click on that. I'm gonna upload this image, and now you will find that image is there. Let me thumbnail. Okay, so this class was in there, and now you'll find that image is there. In the similar fashion, what we get here inside with this quill editor that we can see here, if we click on this part, if we want to upload any sort of image, we can do that too. And let's make it 5 and 7. So this will become 5 and our top will become 7. Call SM12. On the smaller screen, it will take the size of full width. So now you'll find that it looks quite nice now. And we can do all sort of stuff with the quill editor if you want to give some heading, a bold heading. So let's say hello world, this is awesome blog post application. And now we want to bind this add post button in order to create this post. So we can do that too. Here, let me shrink just the second column that we have, and inside on the click of this method, we want to add a post, blog post application, add new post. We'll call this function, and this function is yet not created. So inside my methods, I'm gonna create that function real quick. Async, and also I'm gonna get rid of this part, this console statement that we have. And for now, let's console log. What do we get inside? Console log this dot new post. So let's save it, and on the click of that button, we should get our new post. So this will say post 1 hello world. We'll add one image. We'll add a featured image too. So let's say for now I'm using this featured image that we have. And if I add this post, you will find an observer object, and inside that content you can see that everything is rendered inside a p tag and something like that. And that's because our quill editor parses everything inside the HTML part, so that we can do that very easily. So now once we are done that, we can again use this Apollo mutation kind of thing in order to mutate this post. And instead of this variable, we'll pass our this dot new post as whole variable, and this mutation will be changed to new post mutation that we have here, and we haven't yet added that, so we'll add that now real quick from our playground. So this was our post mutation. Inside that, we were passing a title, and let me prettify a bit. So we're passing a title, we're passing a content as well as a featured image, and that's how we are just. And in back we are returning just an ID from the backend, so we can add that this mutation over there. And now we can make the use of this mutation here. So let me save that, and once we are done with that, once we are done doing that part, Later we'll add validations, but for now, once we are done with that, now we can simply use that. And we can go ahead and do that by simply saying this dot router dot push. I will take the user to the dashboard / my posts page. So let's see in the action if it works or not. Data is assigned but never used, so we can do that. For now, I'm just gonna put a console log statement on the data part. And let's save it. This should do the job for us. So let me reload this application. And let's say post testing. Let me give learn Vue-Apollo from scratch. And I want to put one image real quick. So this one is the image which I'm going to put, which is from my blockchain application, which I created for my other clients. And you don't have to worry about this testnet that we have. So it is completely testnet address. I'm going to add one featured image on that. And now you find that featured image is also there. And now if I click on this, this will take some time. We'll add loader in a while. And now you can see we are getting our data back. That means our post has been created, but some other issue is there. And that's because we haven't used this router with a $sign. So this is my post. So let me quickly check post testing. Hello world. I'm gonna make it with a heading of h1. I'm bad with the spelling, sorry guys. I want to add one image to that real quickly. Let me add my photograph, that's fine. So this is my photograph that I have. You can use it, style it according to your application need, but this works fine for me. Now I added this application image, and now I click on the add, and this is adding that image on the back end. And now we are on the front page now. So if I click that, you will find that post is there, but you won't find that post is there. So if I click on that, you'll find that post is there, but you'll find everything is rendered inside like this ugly text. And this will fix in a while, just a moment, that won't take much. So if I go to my post component that we have here, so this is our post where we were rendering the content of the post. We won't do this now inside interpolation. Instead of that, we'll use something like vue-html that we have, vue-html tag, and we'll paste that, and let's save it. So now if I do this, you'll find that post is there. So this is vue-html, and in the similar fashion in React, you'll use dangerously set inner HTML. But I'm gonna quickly cut this out, and I'm gonna give div instead of it. I'm gonna paste that. So I'm gonna give it a class of post content type class, and I'm gonna grab this class inside my style tag, and language will be SCSS, and we'll give a overflow auto, and that should be important. So now everything will work just fine. So you can see that post is there being rendered inside how we have designed our post, and that's it. So now if I click, and we will find these are the posts which I created at the back behind the scenes. So we can find those posts also. You can find that image that we uploaded in the first one, that is there too. Let me go back. So these are the posts. And now there's one more thing behind the scene, that's a caching, and that can be an issue at a point of time. So for that, I wanted to go inside this Vue-Apollo.js file that we have, and we have to enable this fetch policy that we have inside our Apollo provider. And now you'll find our loadings also will work, because earlier it was saying fetching data all the time. So currently you can see there's no result. That's fetching our post from the backend, and since our payload is now quite a busy and I'm using free MongoDB server, so it takes quite a bit of time from the sandbox. So now if I go to home page, you'll find that too, and this will only disable the caching. Only this line of code, this piece of code will disable all that caching stuff, and now you'll find all the posts are being rendered over there. So what I can do, I can finish it off with this delete post functionality. So I can finish it off as fetching. Currently you can see it's fetching, and now I'm gonna delete these posts. So we can do that from our dashboard. So inside my users post, where we actually inside this component that we have, components post, we have the post item, and inside that we have our buttons. So I'm gonna click @click delete post. Let me copy that, and I'm gonna create that method inside that post item component only. So inside that methods we have asynchronous task of deleting a post. This will take the ID, or actually that post ID itself has an post.item, so we can access that directly from there. So we can use that here. So we'll simply say await $. Actually, let me check that from my views dashboard, add post, and we'll make the use of this Apollo client only. So let me copy that real quick and paste it here. So this will be an asynchronous task, mutate, and we'll pass our delete post query. So it will take a mutation, and in that it will take mutation, and I want to register that mutation inside my data property that we have. So this will be our mutation, delete query. Actually this will be delete mutation, not query. You can name it any variable which you want, mutation, and we'll go to the playground. We'll look for that inside this delete post by ID. So it takes an ID as a variable. We can make the use of that. So we'll simply say mutation delete post, and this will take an $ID. That will be a required field, and inside that we have a delete post by ID. We'll pass that ID, and we'll refer that to that ID that we have passed at the top, and this will return a post type post notification. So inside that post notification we have a message, and we also have a status, I guess, success message. Okay, so let me quickly check that ID and let me test that out. So I'm gonna grab a post by ID real quick. So if I click on this is the post ID that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to my playground. Inside my query variables, I'm gonna pass that ID over here, and inside my HTTP headers I'm gonna use my access token. So I can grab it from my application local storage, and I'm gonna quickly copy that token from there, and I'm gonna replace the existing token with that token, whatever I do have. So now I'm gonna execute this query, delete post, and this should delete that post from the backend. This is taking quite a bit of time because I'm using most of the services for free, and now you can see we are getting that message and that post has been deleted. So if I go to the post page, you won't find that post there anymore. So this is still in loading state, and now that post is gone. Earlier we had two testing posts, and now that post is deleted. So I'm going to make use of that ID field that we have. So let me quickly copy that and paste it inside this mutation, format a bit, and also I'm gonna, in order to access that, I'm also gonna bring in GQL from GraphQL tag, and inside this GQL we'll pass that as this dot delete mutation, and pass the variables inside an object, this dot post dot id, and that will be coming from the id. So this will be referring to this dot post that we are passing in here. And once we are done with deletion of this post, we want to get back, we want to fire our data and the message. So let data, we'll extract that data that we get from our ApolloQuery. So after destructuring that, from that we are now going to look into this delete post by ID. So we can do that too. We'll fire a toast, ESLint disable next line, and in here I'm gonna extract this variable from there, which will be having our message as well as success. So let's see how we can do that. We'll simply say swell.fire. Later we'll put one kind of confirmation message also. So, but for now this will do our job, and we'll put an icon of success, and we'll put a message of data dot delete post by ID dot message. And actually we can also pass that thing success, that's fine. So whatever we have, we can directly do that, and let's see in action if it works or not. So our application, we are making sure that our application is not breaking so far, and it's loading from the post from the database, and now that post is coming, being fetched. And now if I click on that, and let me open up the console statement so that we can have a look what's happening behind the scene, if it is working or not. So if I click on this, it made a GraphQL query, and now you can see that we are getting our toast application. So that means that post has been deleted from the database. If we preview that, we will find that your post has been deleted. So there's some issue, I guess, with this delete post by ID. So let me console log a statement. Sorry about that, my dog is barking a lot. So let's quickly check what do we get inside the console statement. So if I click another, and now this post is not there because it is already deleted. So let me delete another post. Let me delete that another post that we have, and now we can find that sweet alert is unknown parameters passed message. So basically we have to pass a title. I was passing message instead of that, and this should work fine for us now. So if I refresh that, currently I haven't cleared that out. So in the next video we'll make a query in order to refresh the post that we have after the deletion. So if I click this now, and now you can find these messages are also coming from the backend, and everything is working fine. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and hope you are enjoying my series. If you like this video, just leave this video a like. Until then, see you guys for the next time.